Welcome to Whirly Girl Inc. It is the 8th of September, and this is a podcast about general crafting. It started out that it was going to be a knitting primarily, but I haven't knit in so long. I am your host, Rachel, also known as Whirly Girl Inc. You can find me on Etsy and Instagram as Whirly Girl Inc. And yeah, so welcome. Today, I don't know how long that this show is going to be, because although I've been extraordinarily busy, I haven't been accomplishing many tangible things. So, well, I guess I have been. I don't know. So we had some family come visit, my dad and my stepmom. So when they came to visit, we were working on a lot of house projects. So we finished turning my back door from an inward facing to an outward facing door. And so then I needed a landing so that I didn't knock my dogs off the stairs. So we did that. We finished putting in butcher block countertops in my kitchen. We painted the living room, put in hardwood floors, and yeah, like we did a lot of house stuff. And that was cool because it's stuff I've really wanted to get done, and now like it's just nice to see that my house has a lot more knee flair to it. And yeah, so I really like it. But yeah, so we were really busy with that, and then the kids were doing virtual school, and today's their first day back to in-person school, so I thought that I would knock this out without them here, because every time they see me recording, then they ask about if they can record, and then you can't just let one kid do a recording, you need both of them. It could be a lot. So I figured I would do this now. Yeah, so as far as things that I have made recently for my finished objects, yeah, there really hasn't been much. I am going to have a shop update on my Etsy. I guess you could consider that finished objects, but I don't know if they are. But I am, after I finish recording this, I'm going to do a shop update for my Etsy for Halloween knitting bling, because we're coming into my favorite holiday season, which is Halloween season. I love Halloween. Not the scary part of Halloween, like the cute part of Halloween. So some of the updates for that, it's mostly stitch markers, and well, it's all stitch markers and progress keepers. So the first ones, I'll show you some of the progress keepers, so you can get a preview. Okay, so this is one. Come on, camera, you can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Come on, there it is. See, she's a little witch with a cauldron. Progress keeper. Okay, stay focused over here. And then I have a little, come on, you can do it. Focus on the purple nails and then go to the little, there it goes. It's a cookie ghost. So super cute. And then, I know, so you can just keep looking at my hand. I have a little, like, warlock hat or witch's hat with a little dangly, oh my goodness, come on. There it goes. With a little dangly pumpkin underneath it. And then I have a Halloween, a happy Halloween, or just, I guess it just says Halloween, with a little pumpkin underneath it. And then I have sets of skull stitch markers. See, oh, I like the skull stitch markers. with a progress keeper. Each one has a different progress keeper. So this one, oh jeez, this one has a skull. Wah! Ah! Backwards. Okay, maybe. What? No. It doesn't wanna. I mean, I appreciate that you want to see my face. But, there, that one has a skull. And then I have another one that has a, oh, let's see, now it's gonna be like, what are we doing? My camera's so confused right now. And then this one, like a rib cage. And then I have also lungs and a heart. Oh, I forgot one other progress keeper. So I also have candy corns. So, candy corns, candy corns. Come on, you can do it. See, little candy corns. So, so I do all the wire wrapping on them. And then most of them, I buy the beads for them, and then I wire wrap them, and I do I solder the little rings, right? So I solder, let's see, we'll do it. I know this is like the whole episode of Let's Focus on My Hand. At least my nails aren't totally atrocious given what I've been doing lately. But see, I solder all of the jump rings closed so that you're not getting whatever, so that they don't come apart. But yeah, so I'll have all of these up on my Etsy. I like adding these. So some people don't know what the progress keepers are for. They're the ones with the little lobster claws. Lobster claw, like the necklace clasps. Those can be used for knitting or crocheting. So for knitting, what you do is when you start knitting at the beginning of your knitting time, whatever, so you hook one of the little lobster claws to where you start. And then you knit for however long you're going to do. So it could be, like if you're watching a movie or binge watching a TV show or whatever. So you knit, and then it shows you that you've made some progress. So it's like you have miles and miles of stockinette on something, and then you're like, hey, look, but I did like 3 inches on it, even though it doesn't look like it because I have to do like 15 inches of stockinette. It helps you to like keep the motivation up if you're you want to see the process of how your knitting is going. And in crochet, you can use it as a stitch marker because they're removable, because in crochet, so a stitch marker in knitting, you put it on your needle, and when you're going in and around or even back and forth, it'll stay there because it'll just stay on your needle, and then when you get to it, you just slip it and keep going. But in crochet, you don't have anything like that, so all your stitch markers have to be removable. And anyway, so it works well. You can use them as stitch markers. So there is one other thing that's going to be an update. So if you go to my Etsy shop, there's the tea sets. I have little tea set stitch markers, and the blue and white ones are my best selling ones. They're pretty much the only thing I sell. And they're really, really cute because I have a little cup, a saucer, a spoon, a terrain thing, and then a doily that I crochet, right? So the doily is the same. I can show the doily. If, again, focusing on my hand. Let's focus on my hand again. Come on. Come on. So there's this little, hand crocheted doily that comes with it. And I think that's why people, well, you can see better pictures. Hello, hello, hello. You can see better pictures when you see it on Etsy. Well, so I used to buy the little glass bead things, the tea sets. I used to buy the little cups and stuff at big box store, and all of them stopped selling them. I think the company stopped making them, whatever. But because the sets are so cute, I decided that I would just make the teacups and saucers and teapot myself and paint them myself. So I'm going to try something new with this. I wanted to get this recorded, so I haven't put the jump rings on them yet, but I made little tiny, this probably won't even do it justice, well, let's start with so the teapot is going to be a progress keeper. See, it's a little teapot. I'm a little teapot. If it will focus. So, anyway, each one is hand. I made a mold, and I made each of these out of resin. And now it'll do it. So I made each piece out of resin, and then hand painted them, and then glazed them, and they'll have a little jump ring on them. But here's a little plate if it decides that it likes it. Do you like the plate? Oh, it's so close. And then I talked. Oh, there we go. So there's a little plate. So it'll have a spoon, a plate, a teacup, a teapot, and then a hand crocheted doily. So those will be up fairly soon, just to see if people like those as well, because I mean, I get a lot of compliments on my blue and white tea sets, so hopefully people like them. I think they're adorable. Like, I really like them. And if you looked closely at the close-ups of my hands, I have a bunch of paint and glue and stuff, because I was trying to figure out how to make the little cup look like it's full of tea. So, see, the little teacups have tea in them. They don't have real tea in them, but they have fake tea, because I wanted them to look like they had tea, because Kate and I both thought that was a good idea. So, anyway, so yeah, you'll have to check on my Etsy shop for any updates if you're so inclined. So I guess those would be my finished objects. Otherwise, I've been working on a design for a stained glass Tiffany style lamp. I finished my prototype, but I don't want to show it because it is a prototype, and so it's got some quirks. But when I've designed the second one, and I'm gonna start working on the process of that, and so hopefully I'll have a more refined final version to show on here. I mean, yes, I could show the prototype, but even the people closest to me sometimes don't understand where my brain goes when I have ideas. I'm pretty sure that one of the scariest things I can say to my husband is I have an idea, because yeah, the little cogs go a lot. So I don't really. So that's kind of, future projects. I told you this wasn't probably going to be a very long episode, because I don't really know what's in the future because of, all the things that are going on in the world right now. And yes, my kids went back to school today, and I'm still working from home, but, something could set that back. They're going to school 2 days this week, and then next week they go all 5 days. But, quarantining could happen again. Who knows? So I can't really say what's going to happen in the future, because I don't know. So I'm just sort of playing it by ear. But, I thought I'd get an episode out just to say hi, and that I'm still alive and well, and, Whirly Girl Inc. hopefully has some good stuff in the future, because, I think I'm getting a handle on getting things less chaotic, but things always get chaotic. I'm just finding time here and there to work on stuff. Oh, but there you go. I haven't been reading much, but I have been listening to a book. So Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors. I just really like the way that he writes and the way that he describes things. If you're not into kind of dark literature or dark humor, you won't like Neil Gaiman, because his stuff can be very dark and very it's a lot like Chuck Palahniuk with like Fight Club, where if you've ever actually read the book or knew that the movie was based on a book, but the movie is actually very similar theme or feeling that the book is. So Neil Gaiman writes kind of similar to Chuck Palahniuk on their way that they write very dark, kind of, it can be a little bit graphic in their stuff. Definitely not something that I would let my kids listen to, and I'm pretty open on what my kids listen to or watch or read or whatever, and this is definitely something that I wouldn't let them listen to, or yeah. But I'm listening to Sandman, and if you're into Marvel and all of that genre, it's part of that. I didn't know that until I started listening to it, because I'm not generally into Marvel and the superhero stuff. Like I like it just fine, but I don't follow it really closely or like know all the characters or things like that. But this one, Sandman, it has, it is very much the Marvel characters and things. So they talk about Harvey Dent, and it's a lot of the bad guys in the was it the Arcan, something like that. I know anybody that's like totally a Marvel person will be like, "What are you saying? It's totally whatever it is." And anyway, the prison for the criminally insane, and talking about like the different people that are in that, and things like that. It's been really good. Like, I really like the way that it's written. It's very Neil Gaiman. And yeah, so like I said, if you're into the Marvel stuff and also into kind of dark stories, because this isn't a dark humor, because I really like dark humor. This one's not dark humor. It's dark. Almost like psychological thriller kind of dark. Like, oh, what was that? Oh, sure. Now I'm not gonna be able to remember it. But like, yeah, it's more like a psychological dark thriller than a dark humor. And if you have no idea what this genre of fiction is, good on you, because I was trying to figure out what genre of fiction that I gravitate towards, because I don't really like fantasy. I do like historic stuff, but I can only read so many World War II books or Vietnam books or World War I books. Like, I can only read so many war books. And about, like the nurse that, it was a spoiled girl, and then she became a nurse in World War I or World War II, and then she met the love of her life, and then that person went away and died in war. Or about, saving Jewish children. All these, which is great, but I can only read so many of those kind of books. You get a little bit of a different background and video cut in, because I didn't realize until I was editing that my camera had turned off. So basically, I blather on about reading war books, and for another like 30 seconds, and then I was signing off anyway. So I do hope that everybody is doing well and staying healthy and getting time to do the things that you really love, and find the good stuff. So and thank you for watching, and until next time, see you later.